Okay, so just pressing on with things. Here's the scene. Got it to scale. I've retopologized roughly the originally mesh to points object. So there, we've got the original thing, and then I retopologized it. If I select the one in the front, like so it's sort of rough, approximately in the right place, and also made sure it's all flat on the ground and everything. I selected all the points in the end and just flattened them, and then where we're putting in the patches, I made sure that the vertices snap to the nearest tracking point. Just with the snaps here, vertices, and then when placing the new grid with a patch we want to do, I put it onto the polygon, the normal. So if we go into the camera and put the texture, put the wireframe on, you'll see. Also, I help on visibility, put the wireframe to random. Also seemed to help. So anyway, let's just hide the mesh to point object. So we just have polygon and then snapped it to, basically mapped it out from around 62, the chap there, you see, larger, and then also put a in the same object, had another square next to it like this. So at frame 62, I did the UV projection, right? So then I set up the materials like this. So we have I rendered out frame 62, and then I just corrected it directly to the surface, bypassing the whole shading thing altogether, right? So when it's textured, and we hide the retopper flow, it looks like that. So we have the plane that we're going to clone from, and the target 62 the guy we want to paint out him in the shadow, right? And it's frozen frames. We only need to do it on the one frame. So this is kind of where I'm at the moment. So if we go to object, texture paint, this is where I might have to pause the video if it's not going to work for me. I was under the impression I can either go as control and paint. There we go, control and paint gets rid of the guy. Great. So now all we need to do is work on the edge, do a vertex color map like we did before, and color attributes, and then go to the vertex paint. Let's do the other way around then. Let's paint the black. The edge might be a bit sharp, I guess. We'll just see how well that works for us. Okay, and then we'll go the same trick before. We go transparent, the mix shader, and we feed the transparent into 1, and connect the color into the other, output the texture, and then we go the attribute color. Let's try that. See if the two things come up. Right attribute, and then put that into the factor, and that should do something. If we go to the shaded, yes, it feathers it off. It feathers it off, and we have the patch. And we have nothing messing around with the lighting. It's just doing the transparency. So now if we jump into the camera view, and we actually go to film, transparent. There we go, and the person's gone. Although that's horribly and blurry. That's not quite what I was expecting. You might need to do another patch further up, because you can see it's all horrible. This is what I meant with the other time we did when I did the other patch. It's okay at a distance. There, right? But when we start getting close, well, past 62, right? So we need to do another projection, really. So I'm going to split the difference. So when it's out of shot, so half of it's so it goes right up here. Right, so let's have a look. So something like that, maybe. This is what I was wondering about, whether if I had if I change that, that's going to change the paint out, because it still is going to have, if you just go into the image editor and select the 62, that'll have the paint out in it, right? So we need to save that first of all. And then I need to do another projection from here. So I think what we need to do again is to render out another frame without this, without the plane. So at what frame are we at? 95. So let's just hide the thing and render out 95. Image, save image, and we'll change that to 95. And why does it look like that? That shouldn't be. Oh, because it's using we need to create a new UV projection because we're now at frame 95. So if we go under, here we go, and UVs, and we'll create a new UV map, and we'll select it, and then we'll go project from view. I'll just tap into edit mode, UV, project from view. There we go. That's fixed that. Okay. What we need to do is really feather this off here at the bottom. So we need to create another. It does get quite. This is why I was kind of saying do the paint out in Photoshop. Just because of this whole, it just makes things a bit easy. But you need to have multiple projections as you go through the space, otherwise the texture won't hold up, right? And also on here, instead of repeat, let's just put clip, because that will show a bit more clearly what's going on when we come back. You see, so we're just dealing. So we've got the resolution there. We might need to do another one if we get up here and it's all streaking horrible. Let's just render that and see what that looks like. It's all blurry, you see. So this is why I have to use multiple projections. I mean, you can, rebuild your own kind of seaweed thing and, but that's a lot of work. It's easier to try and lift the stuff from the plate if you can at all. So my gut instinct would be to do another projection up here. So again, we're going to have another UV map, and another projection, another still, and project that. So I've been working on the texture. So if we jump into the camera, if it'll let us, I have got this one, and I've got this one, and then I've got the attributes for that, and the color attributes for that part. So that all mixes together to this. Render that. Also disable the motion blur, and that also helps so we get a nice patch, nice amount of detail, and when we go further along the sequence, it doesn't look terrible. And the guy's gone, right? So that's the how to do like multiple. So I basically need to do this for the whole beach. I'm sort of contemplating whether to come up with sort of generic sand and get rid of the ruins altogether, and put like the estuary coming in, or like a sandbank, and just redo this entire area just to get rid of all the people there. I might, and roto back in the seagulls and the stones, perhaps some of the larger ones over the top of the 3D. But yeah, it's going quite well. I mean, you see that guy's gone pretty much. The only thing that's slightly annoying is that obviously you occasionally get like blurs, and if it's sort of where the texture streaks, there's not enough, and you really need to do another projection. So ideally I only need to do 3 projections, which is sort of turning into a bit of a faff, but if you really need to get rid of something, this is how you do it. So that's it. I think I will stop the video there.